welcome to another episode. So, yes, slight apology for everybody before I get started on the Steam Deck and specifically the recent announcement from Valve. So, I haven't uploaded much this month. I think I took 1 week off because I've recently started a new job, and then took last week off because I'm still starting that new job. So I am back. I am doing a couple of episodes today, which is exciting. So I'm going to be talking about the Steam Deck today and day of recording. I'll be talking about the Steam Deck today, and then I will be doing a Games Room tour next week, which is very exciting. I will also probably be doing what I'm going to call 6 months with the Switch. 6 months of the Switch 2, where I'm just going to sort of talk about my experience with it, what my thoughts are, whether or not I think it's worth getting one right now. But that, in fact, no, let's do that early December, because that will give me time to play Kirby. But yeah, because I've recently picked up 2 more games for it after about 3 months away, because I've been playing this. I've just been strictly playing the Steam Deck. So yeah, bought a Steam Deck a couple weeks ago. I love it, which is not something I thought I'd be saying. So a little bit of history and a little bit of annoyance, because I'm kind of glad I delayed this video by a week, because Steam announced some new stuff, or Valve announced some new stuff in relation to this, so that's really cool. But where to begin? So, historically, I've not been a PC gamer at all. I can't stand your bog standard attempt to try and play on PC. I can't be asked with updating drivers. I can't be asked with this component doesn't work with this particular game, that component doesn't work with that particular game. Oh, you need to run it in a very specific manner, blah, blah, fuckety blah. When I turn something on and hit play, I expect it to play. Okay? That's just how I am. I don't have the time or the patience to be dealing with any of that crap when it comes to PC gaming. In fact, for the longest time, I think the last time I had a proper gaming PC was 2016. In between now and then, so in that sort of 9-year period, I did end up getting a Steam machine. I got the first gen one. It was £400. Fucking thing didn't work properly, so I got rid of it. Yeah, sold it. Sold it to a guy. So, good luck, chief. Good luck with that piece of crap. But, I decided recently, I was like, hey, I've paid off some stuff. I've paid off the play date, finally, after several months. I'm going to get one of these. I'm going to get a Steam Deck. I'm going to finally get a Steam Deck. And hope it's kind of what I'm looking for in a PC console hybrid. I bought a dock. It's a cheap dock. It's like 30 quid. But yeah, bought a dock. Do you know what? Works fine. Works great. Doesn't charge very well, but well, I guess. Bought a dock. Synced up my Xbox One controller, and I've been playing a bunch of games on it. So, what are my thoughts? I think it's fantastic. So, bearing in mind, I am fully aware the vast majority of the games I play on Steam, or used to play on Steam, were RTSs. They were strategy games, and that isn't really going to work on this thing. Though, the fact that this has sort of its own automated startup is pretty cool. As in, you can select what the startup is. I will show you mine briefly when it decides to load. But yeah, we'll get into my thoughts on the console itself. Pretty please. Target acquired. Yes, so I got the had a bunch of points lying around, and I had the I thought that had downloaded. Okay, whatever. It's doing some updates. It's doing some updates for some of the games I have on here. So yes, what are my overall thoughts? So if I'm just going with what I think of the machine, I think the touchpads aren't something I use. I don't think they're particularly useful for the type of games I'm playing. So bearing in mind, I'm mostly using this thing to play 7th gen, basically play games from about 10, 15 years ago on the go. So, for example, where's my library? So installed, I've got Aperture Desktop, which is the sort of pack-in, if you want to call it that. I've got Beginner's Guide, Broken Age, and probably the principal thing I have bought this for, Brutal Legend. And as you can see, I've played 6.5 hours of it so far since getting it 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I mean, it runs flawlessly. And I did buy this with the idea of going, right, I've got a couple hundred games sat on Steam that I'm not playing, that I don't have any access to whatsoever. And that kind of sucks. There's a couple of things like that. For example, I have... Cool. Thanks. I'm just going to turn you right down. Now, I can't actually play the game with sound because I'll get copyright striked because fuck YouTube. But in general, this thing is comfortable. Even the thumbsticks are good. There is a slightly annoying thing where you're playing a certain game, and if you have your thumbs on both thumbsticks, it will auto gyration aiming, which fuck off. I really can't stand it. I had to turn it off in the settings because it's just awful. I hate it. Absolutely no. If I'm trying to play Portal on the go, I don't want that. I'm just going to quit out of Brutal Legend quickly. Because another main reason why I bought this thing is, well, hell, I've also bought like Half-Life and Half-Life 2. I bought Left 4 Dead 1. I can play mods. That's not something I can historically do. I can't play, say, Portal Revolution or Portal Stories Mel. In fact, the first thing I finished on here, the first thing I played was Portal 1. So I played a good chunk of Portal 1. I played a good chunk of Portal 1. I think I played about 43 minutes. Nearly beat it, because it's not a very long game. And then I went, hey, hang on. I can play Portal Revolution. Sick. Cool. Really cool idea. And it's great. It is. It's really cool. I swear there was another Portal game I was playing. Oh yeah, there's this, I can't remember what it's called. It was like this three portal game. You have like one where you go back in time and then you can manipulate the cube in the future, but not the cube in the present because it deletes the cube in the future, blah, 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 timelines. Got rid of it because it was really annoying. just didn't like it at all. Portal Revolution, great game. Could have been Portal 3. Or at least a Portal side story. But that's cool. The ability to play mods on what is essentially a console on my TV is really cool. I've got a bunch of stuff on here that I haven't been able to play in fucking years. I haven't been able to play the Beginner's Guide, which runs flawlessly. I haven't been able to play Cthulhu Saves the World. I haven't been able to play Cthulhu Saves the World since A, I had my old PC, and B, they shut down the Xbox 360 indie store because you couldn't play any of the indie games, of which there was really only two worth getting, which were Breath of Death 7 and Cthulhu Saves the World. You couldn't play them, which sucked because I really, really liked that first game. I can play Hell, I can play Fallen Aces now, which I now have and I'm bad at. I can play Enslaved Odyssey to the West with its DLC on the go. There's so much I can play on here now that's just cool as shit. That's cool, you know? And that's mostly what this is for. I'm under no illusions that certain games are just going to not run off of this, or I'm going to have to plug in, say, a mouse and a keyboard into the back of the dock and then plug it into my computer monitor here in the games room, which I'm thinking of trading out for a TV. We'll see. In fact, I have a TV under the bed. I might do that. Get rid of the monitor, replace it with a TV. And then just have the dock plugged into that. However, this was worth getting. This really was worth getting. It is an absolutely fantastic machine. And it's allowed me to reconnect with Steam in a way that doesn't incessantly piss me off every fucking time I have to think about it, like with a regular PC. Absolutely can't stand regular PC gaming. Can't do it. Absolutely can't stand it. Awful, miserable experience for me. Trash. However, and this is a big however, a few days ago, Valve, wonderful bastards that they were, about a week ago, went, hey, guys, hey, you love Steam Deck, right? And we're like, yes, because it offered a viable alternative to the Switch, or the Switch 2 even, that has a crap load of games on it, has a crap load of usability. Some games on here won't run on a TV very well. I find it borderline impossible to play Buckshot Roulette just because it's not really optimized for controllers. So as a result, I can literally just play it on the Steam Deck. And I have, and it was great. I've never played that game before. It's brilliant. It really is. Super gives me Inscription vibes, but Valve came out and went, hey guys, hey, you know, like early 2026, we're doing like 3 new bits of hardware. New Steam controller. Cool. You'll know my thoughts on the new Steam controller. It looks like an Atari Jaguar controller. It does. It's a chunky fat boy, and I was just looking at it and I was like, that's a Jaguar controller. That's like a Jaguar controller in some weird timeline where Atari Jaguar was the best-selling console of the 5th generation, and somehow Atari just kept making consoles. Which they have done. I've still got my VCS. I will be doing a bit of a breakdown at some point on sort of the additional consoles that have sort of come out over the last 5-6 years, because I've got quite a lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I had the other 2, and I'm still going to pick those other 2 up. Yeah, but yeah. Here's the kicker. I'm also like, okay, new controller, great, cool, not buying it. Okay. Don't really use the touchpads, so I think like I'm presuming to be like 80 quid, an 80 quid controller. Not particularly interested. No thanks. Hey guys, new Steam machine. New Steam machine. And as they've stated, it is 6 times more powerful than a Steam Deck. It is 6 times more powerful than a Steam Deck. Now, unfortunate thing about the Steam Deck, it doesn't run newer games super duper well. My wife bought me Keeper this month from Double Fine. Lovely game, lovely people. Haven't really played too much of it because it runs like shit. It runs like shit on the Steam Deck. It really doesn't run very well at all, which is a pity. It looks like ass. I'm hoping that this new Steam machine, which I'm probably going to buy, I'm hoping it will be good. I am. Because here's the thing. If it can run any of the strategy games, any of the strategy games, maybe some of the Xbox stuff, like Song of Midnight, for example. Songs of Midnight I might be tangentially interested in playing. Maybe, what's it called? Avowed. Whatever the fuck that Obsidian game was earlier this year. Cool. I never have to buy an Xbox One. Fine by me. A console can fuck off. Hell, there's the thing that kills Xbox. Valve came out and went, yeah, so, Xbox. Yes. We did this. Cool. We've copied you with the ROG Xbox Ally. Cool. This is like 300 to 400 quid. What about you? $1,000. Okay. Has anyone bought it? No. Cool. Here's the thing. You can buy those Xbox games on here. So, who gives a fuck? Doesn't matter. So, then it's like, oh, the next Xbox is going to be some sort of console PC hybrid. It's going to be like a more premium product for a more sophisticated gamer. Cool. Valve have come out and gone, hey, here's a Steam machine. And more importantly, they could probably sell it at console prices because A, they're not locked in with a ludicrously expensive chipset that they are being essentially strong-armed into using by AMD, and B, they are able to sort of tank the losses of selling a console because Steam prints money. Valve's owner, Gabe Newell, literally has bought a $500 million yacht. The guy has billions, or he's got over $1 billion, I don't know, but he's got shit loads of money to be able to buy a yacht with a custom PC gaming LAN party room on it, because he's insane. Now, he's a billionaire. I don't trust everything he will ever do, because you don't become a billionaire without being a very low-level sociopath. But, unless it's through pure dumb luck. But, at the same time, what Valve do over Xbox is they go, hey, here's your stuff, everything you do, but better. Now, I'm not ditching physical games. I'm not. Steam has existed for 20 years. It will probably continue to exist for another 20, and then I'll just, pirate everything. But when Valve are coming out and going, hey guys, hey, here's a cool feature. That micro SD you've got on here with all your games on it, yeah, take it out of that, put it in the Steam Deck, it works straight away. Okay. Right. Oh, also, if you take it out of the Steam machine and put it in the Steam Deck, it'll work again. Okay. And then if you take it out of the Steam Deck, or take it out of the Steam machine, put it in our new standalone Steam VR headset, which can also connect to maybe this, I don't know, but definitely the Steam machine, and it will run all of your games, and it has memory expansion in a way that fucking MetaQuest doesn't have. Go crazy. So here's the thing, next year might very well be my return to Steam sort of full-time. Well, not full-time. Not full-time. It won't be full-time. I don't play enough shit. I don't play enough PC games for that. But the ability to sort of go back and play Empire at War. Okay. Yes. That is my most played game on Steam by an absolute fucking margin, with nearly 100 hours. And here's the thing, I'm not someone who sits there and invests thousands and thousands of hours into a game, unless it's one I've been playing for nearly 20 years, a la Halo 2. Or Brutal Legend. Exhibit A. I've played hundreds, if not thousands of hours of that game over the last 16 years. So, what I'm getting at is, I don't think the Steam Deck or the Steam machine will be taking over my living room quite so much. Will I be using this more than the Switch? I already have been. I've been playing more Brutal Legend. I've been playing more Beginner's Guide. I've been playing more not Substance Zombie. I've been playing lots of games on this thing over the last couple of weeks. More than I've been playing the Switch too. That being said, I have literally today finished Hyrule Warriors, or day of recording. I finished Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, and it was amazing. And I'll be talking about that when I do my Switch 2 video in a couple of weeks. But for now, I think that's enough talking about the Steam Deck. It's worth getting. I already have registered my interest for the Steam machine. The Steam VR headset, that might be a separate thing, because basically I'm going to have to rebuy all my I'm just going to have to rebuy all of my fucking VR games, which is a bit annoying, because I had a bunch of them on the MetaQuest 2, which I got rid of because the plan was to get a MetaQuest 3, and then I didn't for like a year or two, which is fine. I just haven't really had the money, haven't really had the inclination, plus there's been other consoles I want to play. I want to play the Polymega more, I want to play the Playdate, I want to play this fucking thing. Those sort of, well, the Switch 2, the PS5, there's so many things that I just want to play instead of VR, so, will I get it if strictly just to play Alex, like Half-Life Alex? Yeah. Yeah, I probably will, to be fair. I probably will, and I think it'll be cool. Alternatively, I'll end up playing the mod that lets you play it without VR, as long as you buy the fucking game, so that's fine. And as long as that runs off the Steam machine, I don't give a shit. But yes, I'm really hoping that both the Steam machine, if the Steam machine is sort of in the ballpark of about 500 quid, I can maybe save up for one, / pay this off, and then buy it. But, yeah, we'll see. At the same time, there's also the Steam VR headset. So aim is to get both of those next year. Not together. I won't have the money. I will never have the money. Well, I actually have the money at the moment, but I'm not going to buy both. I need money for savings. But yes, I will probably end up getting both anyway. We will see. But yeah, I think that is us good for another week. I will see you next week for our Games Room tour. Then there will be another week where I do something, and then I will be doing the Switch 2 6-month discussion, because I have picked up Hyrule Warriors, I've picked up Pokemon ZA, I got rid of Mario Kart, and I'm picking up Kirby Air Riders, and I'm also picking up Metroid Prime 4. So, should end the year having played about 7 games for the Switch 2, so I think that's a decent number going into the new year. And also, they've got Fortune's Weave. Yes, they have the new Fire Emblem, which is going to be very exciting. But yes, that is me done for another week. I will see you next time.